Hello and welcome to Rathod's IS. Today in this lecture, we are going to see current affairs of 22nd July 2023. So first of all, we are going to see brief introduction regarding the articles and we are going to see detailed analysis. And if there is anything that we have to link with the static syllabus, we are going to see that as well. And if there is any previous questions of prelims and mains, we are also going to see that. So first topic it is about internet ban with will not restore peace in Manipur. So actually you know that in Manipur violence has been going on. So to control that violence, our government took a recent step, that is internet ban, or we can say internet shutdown. So there is no internet in Manipur, especially why? To cut transmission of information. So to cut this transmission of information, government took this step called as internet shutdown or internet ban. So actually 1 week back there is one article in newspaper that so rather than going for the complete internet shutdown, we can go for shutting down of apps, that is banning of apps which are used for sharing of messages or information. So here this article is important from polity point of view. Here you have to see one important act which governs internet ban, and here you have to see so how internet ban is going on in India, and you can also add some examples like earlier in which areas government came up with this ban of internet. And next topic it is about the right approach. So this article which is talking about one important concept in polity, that is bail. So here you have to understand what is a bail and types of bails, and also you have to see the period. Okay, so this article is important from again polity which comes under GS paper 2. And next topic it is about belated outrage. So this article which is focusing on Manipur violence. So we are going to see that issue, and this topic is important from internal security. And next topic it is about Assam Rifles. Assam Rifles filed sedition case against Impal group. So Impal, it is a capital city of which state? So please let me know. So here Assam Rifles is one of the 6 paramilitary forces which are working in India. And here you have to focus on especially this Assam Rifles. So there is a chance of getting question regarding this Assam Rifles in your prelims and as well as mains. And next topic is a portal launched to report violation of ban on e-cigarettes. So e-cigarettes are nothing but electronic cigarettes. So what happened nowadays, there is increased use of e-cigarettes. To curtail the use of e-cigarettes, government came up with the launch of portal. So we have to see what all those regarding that. And even you have to see what is about this e-cigarettes. Until now, what are the measures taken by government to ban this? And this topic is important from health because smoking or tobacco consumption is one of the important cause of a lot of deaths every year in India. So because of this, here we have to take some steps to curtail this. And next topic is online gaming. Online gaming investors flag risk to jobs investments in SOS to PM on GST. So recently GST council meet was held, that is 50th GST council meet. So in this meet here, finance ministry came up with one important decision, that is 28% of imposing of GST on online games. So this article says that because of this high slab of GST which is imposed on online games, so it will be having negative impact on the jobs. That means that leads to unemployment, and as well as it will also affect the investments. So this topic is important from economy which comes under GS paper 3. So now we are going to see all these topics in very much detail. So first topic is an internet ban. First topic is an internet ban. It will not restore peace in Manipur, and this topic is important from your GS paper 2 under polity. And even you can study this topic under internal security which comes under GS paper 3 as I said earlier. So if you're talking about what happened, so recently Manipur High Court granted limited internet access in some designated places. So in places where the violence is high in this Manipur, after a petition seeking the restoration of net access. So if you're talking about the issue which is going on in Manipur, so here state of Manipur ordered for statewide internet shutdown to tackle the escalating means increasing violence in Manipur. So this notification stated that this shutdown of internet that will prevent anti-social elements, and especially this anti-social elements, so they are using the social media platforms and they are spreading information, that is especially misinformation, and even there is a transmission of some key details such that led to the increasing of violence, or that is leading to the inciting of violence among the public, and it is also leading to the spreading of false rumors and as well as sharing of hateful content. And now petitioners, they argued that we have to go for shutting down of internet, and that can be continued indefinitely even the situation which had been de-escalated. So even the situation came into control also, we can go for indefinite ban of internet. So they asserted that lack of internet access which had severely impacted lives and livelihoods, and even it violated the fundamental rights which guaranteed under Article 19, that is freedom of speech and expression, and next one is Article 21, that is right to life and liberty of the Indian Constitution, and this Article 19 and 21 which comes under Part 3 of our Indian Constitution, that is nothing but fundamental rights. So this is the issue which is going on. So here state government ordered for the complete shutdown of internet. Because of this, it is violating Article 19 and Article 21 of our Indian Constitution. So if we're talking about the history of shutdowns in India, so according to recent report, India enforced as many as 84 internet shutdowns. So India came up with 84 internet shutdowns in year 2022, and it was on the top of the list for the 5th year. So from the last 5 years onwards, we can see there is imposition of internet shutdowns in India, and especially in this 2022, so there are high numbers of imposition of shutdowns. And if you're talking about in which states, for example Rajasthan, so Rajasthan's government imposed shutdown on 12 different occasions. The next one is West Bengal also, and even in Jammu and Kashmir also, number of times internet shutdown has been banned or internet shutdown has been done. So here you can remember the states like Rajasthan, West Bengal, Jammu and Kashmir, now in Manipur. Okay, and if you see who governs internet shutdowns in India, so this part is very important, and as an UPSC aspirant you need to know this. So internet shutdowns, they are governed by one important act, that is Indian Telegraph Act of 1885. So if you see 1885, so this year is very important because formation of INC, that means we have this act. So we have this act in the British period onwards. So from the British period onwards, we have this Indian Telegraph Act. So under this Indian Telegraph Act, so temporary suspension of telecom services, public emergency or public safety rules 2017, which comes under this Indian Telegraph Act. So it will govern internet shutdown in our country. So this is very important point. And this 2017 rules, they provided for temporary shutdown of telecom services on region on the grounds of public emergency. So on which grounds? First one is public emergency, and also to give senior bureaucrats from Home Ministry at the central and as a state level, they also given the power for the shutdown of internet. Okay, so on the grounds, that is public emergency, so who have the power? That is Home Ministry at the central level, and as well as even at the state levels also, they have the power to order shutdowns. So this act, this Indian Telegraph Act of 1885, which empowers central government to regulate telecom services. So this telecom services will also includes even internet services and even to grant license also. So here the power is present with central government. So this is very important. And even state government have the power for the internet shutdowns. Okay. The next one is under this Code of Criminal Procedure, that is CRPC also, under this section 144, which justifies the communications blockade and continuance of it has been raising trend. So this section it is commonly seen, right? So whenever there is any disturbance to maintenance of law and order in any area, so district collector DC will be imposing section 144 under CRPC. So whenever the section 144 is imposed, so there will be the communication blockade also. So this section 144 gives a magistrate, that is DC, the powers to enforce a general shutdown of the area if he or she believes that there could be violence in area. So whenever DC, that is district collector, that means future, so future of you, so you are going to become IAS or IPS, right? So if you are becoming an IAS officer, so if you believe that if there is any violence in the area, yes, you can impose this section 144. So here if you're talking about this internet shutdown, there is a lot of criticism behind this. So what is that criticism? So first one is internet blackout or internet restriction or internet shutdown which is disrupting the lives of millions of people who are present in that area, because it will be having negative impact on education, especially college administration, and also even on the business for the filing of IT returns or tax returns. And if there is no internet means it will be impacting the business. And according to ICRIER, so internet shutdown which had cost the Indian economy about $3.04 billion, because it is having impact on almost all the fields. And even Cellular Operator Association of India, that is COAI, so mobile carriers, they lost about $8 million a day for the shutdown in any of the 22 circles where they operate in the country. Okay, so these are the some criticisms regarding this internet shutdown. So what are the things which is important from UPSC point of view I discussed, and nothing more which is important than this. And next topic is about the right approach. So here we need to talk about bail. So this article is important from your polity point of view, which comes under your GS paper 2. And now let us try to talk about this topic. So if you are talking about why it is in news, so recently here WFI, Wrestler Federation of India president, who had accused for the sexual harassment, so he also came out from the jail on bail. So we're talking about the court, they need to adopt a clear-headed and common sense approach whenever court is granting the bail. And court need to have the tendency to keep someone in prison merely because the police oppose bail with great vehemence. So here what happened? So here the power of granting bail is rested with the court. And author says that whenever court is giving the bail, so they need to come up with a clear-headed and common sense approach. So what exactly bail is? So bail is nothing but it is a release of an accused person from the custody. So on the undertaking that they will appear court on their trail, so they will be released from the jail. So if you're talking about what is the legal basis, so on which basis the bail is granted. So bail in India is governed by Criminal Procedure Code. So it is very important. So it is based on Criminal Procedure Code. It is not present in our Indian Constitution. So it provides for granting bail by police and as well as courts. So if we talk about statutory bail, it is a right to bail which occurs when police fail to complete investigation. So there will be certain period of time under which the investigation should be done by the police. So if they are not doing these investigations, so they can go for filing of statutory bail. And the time limit for this statutory bail is 60 days to complete investigation. But if you see, for some extreme cases, they can extend this time to 90 to 180 days. So we're talking about the regular bail. So regular bail is granted if an accused person who is in custody, and usually granted on the basis of surety or a personal bond. So on basis of personal bond and surety, so if that person is granted bail, that is called as a regular bail. And next type of bail is anticipatory bail. So this anticipatory bail is also the word that you can see commonly in the newspaper. So anticipatory bail, it is granted before arrest. So before arrest itself, this anticipatory bail is given, and it is meant to protect the accused from the arrest. So if you are having this anticipatory bail, so there is no need of you to go to jail even if you are accused. That means it will protect prisoners, or if it will protect the accused from the arrest. So if we're talking about what are the conditions of the bail, so bail may be granted with some conditions. For example, you can surrender your passport, you can attend the court hearings regularly, and not contacting any witnesses, etc. So these will be the conditions of the bail. And if you're talking about eligibility, so bail eligibility depends upon the several factors. So for example, so which type of crime you did. But some crimes do not have bail which will be given, right? So you have to see which crime you did and what is the severity of the offense and the likelihood of fleeing from the justice and past criminal record and the strength of evidence. So all these will be taken into consideration regarding the eligibility. So this is about this topic in detail, and now let us see next topic. It is about belated outreach. So this article which is talking about the same Manipur issue. So this topic is important from your internal security, which comes in the GS paper 3. So we're talking about this Manipur issue. Our Union Home Minister assured that Center would ensure the implementation of suspension of operations agreement. So why I took this article, because I have to explain this SOO, that is suspension of operations agreement with Kuki insurgent groups. So if you're talking about two ethical minorities which are present in Manipur is Kukis and Miris. So here this agreement with Kuki insurgent groups. So you can get a statement like, so it is between Kuki, it is between Meitei. So Meitei means nothing but other group. So it is between Kuki. So we're talking about what exactly this suspension of operations agreement is. So this agreement was signed on August 2008, and this agreement which aimed to initiate political dialogue. So they want to initiate political dialogue in Manipur's Kuki insurgency, and the Kuki outfits initially demanding a separate Kuki states, and they have now proposed a Kuki land territorial council, and it is having independent financial and as well as administrative powers. So they proposed independent financial and administrative powers under this Kuki territorial council. So if we're talking about what are the terms of this pact, so these terms are also very important. So the first and the foremost thing here is we have to understand the duration and extension of this agreement. So this agreement which has 1 year duration and subjected to extension based on progress of implementation. And if we're talking about a second important provision, that is operational restraints. So both security forces and underground groups, they are prohibited from launching operations during this period. So security forces are there, and next one is underground groups, they are prohibited from launching operations. And next one is holding national integrity. So here the signatories like United People's Front and Kuki National Organization, they must adhere to Constitution of India, and they have to adhere to the state laws, and they have to maintain territorial integrity of Manipur. So this is also one important provision. And next one is camps and arms management. So here under this militant cadres, they are confined to the designated camps which are identified by the government. So in this insurgent groups also we have militant groups, okay. So they have to be identified by the government, and arms are deposited in a secure room under double locking system. Then only they can permit it for camp security and as well as protection of leaders. And the next one is they also talked about rehabilitation. So they need to get the monthly stipend of rupees 5,000, and financial assistance they are provided for the rehabilitation and as well as for the maintenance of the designated camps. So these are also some important provisions of this agreement. And next topic it is about Assam Rifles. Assam Rifles files sedition case against Imphal group. So this article is very important. So this topic is also important from your internal security point of view, where we will be studying different paramilitary forces. So Assam Rifles registered a case of sedition and defamation against Chief of Coordinating Committee on Manipur integrity. Okay, so here sedition case which filed by Assam Rifles on the chief of coordinating committee on Manipur integrity. So it is one of the civil society group in Impal. So we're talking about some important details regarding this issue. So ethnic violence which erupted in Manipur from May 3rd onwards, and from that time onwards 4,000 weapons and lakhs of ammunition pieces they were robbed and take away from the police armories. So after that only 1600 weapons they had been recovered by the police or surrendered by the public so far. So this is one cause of concern. And if you're talking about some facts regarding this Assam Rifles, so it is one of 6 central armed forces under administrative control of Ministry of Home Affairs. And other forces which include Central Reserve Police Force, BSF, that is Border Security Force, Indo-Tibetan Border Police Force, and the Central Industrial Security Force, and such as the Seema Bal. So actually these are the organizations, for example, these are the things, or these are the military groups, they will be having the task of maintenance of law and order in the northeast along with the Indian Army, and even it also got Indo-Myanmar border in the region. So these are some important facts regarding this Assam Rifles. So we're talking about what are the contributions of this Assam Rifles. So these contributions will be important from your mains point of view. So till now what they did, what they contributed to our country. So they have gone on to fight in 2 world wars, in World War I and World War II, and even in Sino-India War of 1962. And they also used as anti-insurgency forces against militant groups in northeast. And even this Assam Rifles, they operated in foreign land as part of India peacekeeping force to Sri Lanka in 1987. And even it remains one of the most awarded paramilitary force in both pre and post independent India. So especially if you are talking about during this World War I, so the forces, they was awarded 76 gallantry medals, including 7 Indian Order of Merit or Merit Awards and 5 or Indian Distinguished Service Medals for their contribution in Europe and as well as in the Middle East during the conflict. So if you're talking about during this World War II, so after lightening a Japanese advance in 1942, so Assam Rifles, they fought a number of independent actions behind enemy lines as a task of rear area defense and rear guard. So actually if you see in this World War II here, Japanese, they become powerful and they started occupying different areas. So after the lightening that Japanese advanced in 1942, so at that time Assam Rifles, they fought a number of independent actions behind the enemy lines, etc. And if you see in this World War II, they also organized the resistance group that is called as the Victor Force on the Indo-Burmese order to counter the Japanese invasion and to harass the enemy on the lines of communication. So in the World War II also they participated, and they came up with one group called as Victor Force, and in this Victor Force they came up with a counter the Japanese invasion and even to harass the enemy lines of communications. So this is about this topic, and now let us try to see the next topic. Title says portal launched to report violation of ban on e-cigarettes. So here you have to focus on e-cigarettes. So in this image you can see this is the one e-cigarette. So now let us try to see context. So despite the ban imposed by union government, so our central government, union government is nothing but central government. Central government imposed ban on these e-cigarettes in which year? Way back in 2019. But there is a continuation of selling of this e-commerce, this e-cigarettes in e-commerce sites, and even now children who are below 18 years of age also they are using these e-cigarettes. But our government is trying to control the use of tobacco. So now here it is a role of the government to curb the use of these e-cigarettes. So because of this, Union Health Ministry launched one online portal to facilitate the reporting of violations under the prohibition of electronic cigarettes production, manufacture, import, Export, Transport, Sale, Distribution, Storage and Advertisement Act. So this act is very, very long, right? But even though you are having this act, we are not controlling the use of this e-cigarettes. So it is very sad. So here the portal here is www.violationreporting.in. So this portal will allow faster action against the reported violations. So this is the thing which is said by central government. And the ban on electronic cigarettes was introduced to protect younger generation from the new form of toxic addiction. So what happened? Addiction means nothing but so they will be habituated to it. So here if you are taking the cigarettes, so actually these cigarettes which contain active ingredient called as nicotine, and this will be habituated actually. So it is a welcome move by the Union Health Ministry to launch this type of portal, and they have to go for strict enforcement and implementation to ensure the ban which is effective. So here the ministry had earlier cautioned all states and union territories about the weak implementation of this act. So because of this weak implementation of act itself, there is selling of e-cigarettes on e-commerce sites. So because of this weak implementation of this act, that is leading to easy availability of e-cigarettes on online, retail, convenience stores, stationery shops and even near educational institutions. So education institutions will be the good area to sell their products, right? So the states, they were also directed to review the compliance of this act to issue necessary instructions for effective implementation of the provisions of the act. And Health Ministry also issued a public notice that you have to ban this e-cigarettes. So e-cigarettes ban violations that will be attracted with the punishment. So this is the thing which is said by Health Ministry. And if you're talking about what are these e-cigarettes, so e-cigarettes are sometimes called as e-cigs, vapes, hookahs, vape pens, electronic nicotine delivery systems, that is ENDS. Some e-cigarette look like regular cigarettes or cigars or pipes. Some look like USB flash drives, pens and other everyday items. So using this e-cigarette is something is called as vaping. So you can get a question like recently vaping is seen in use, what it is. So vaping is nothing but using of e-cigarettes. So we're talking about what are the steps taken by Indian government to control or to curb this tobacco usage. Yes, we have prohibition of electronic cigarettes bill of 2019, and this act or this bill which prohibits the production, manufacturing, sale, import, export, transport, distribution, storage of this e-cigarettes. And even to combat this menace of e-cigarettes, government came up with a statute that is prohibition of electronic cigarettes like devices and regulation of display of this, and even use of tobacco products in films also. So films and telegrams, they are the important what can I say, so important things where they will bring a lot of change in the people who are watching that. So because of this, yes, we have to control these films and as well as television TV programs as well. And next one is we are also having Cigarettes Act of 1975. So tobacco control legislation in India which dates back to Cigarettes Act of 1975, and this act which mandates the display of statutory health warnings in advertisements and on cartoons and cigarette packages as well. So here next one is Delhi also came up with a prohibition of smoking and non-smokers health protection act. So this act which passed in year 1997, and this act which became the model for the central legislation of smoking ban in public places like parks, like shops, etc. And if you see the next one is COPTA. COPTA is nothing but cigarettes and other tobacco products, prohibition of advertisements and regulation of trade, commerce, production, supply and distribution act. And this is one of the comprehensive tobacco control legislation, and this law which aims to provide smoke-free public places and also places restrictions to avoid this tobacco usage or smoking, etc. And this one is tobacco quit line services. So we're also having the toll-free number. So this number which has been initiated in 2016 and later on expanded in September 2018. And now this toll-free number which is working in 16 languages, and even in some other local dialects from the 4 centers. And even government came up with this national health policy 2017. So the important target here is to reduce the tobacco use by 30%, and the target year is 2025. And next one is ratification of WHO framework convention on tobacco control is also there. And we're also having the national tobacco control program which launched in India, especially Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. So they launched this national tobacco control program in 42 districts, okay, out of 21 states and union territories. And actually this program, it is being implemented in all states or union territories which are covering over 600 districts across the country. So this is about this topic, and now let us try to see next topic. It is about online gaming. Online gaming investors flag risk to jobs investments in SOS2 PM on GST. So here we have to talk about GST Council, and number of times we discussed that. So it is homework for you to go through this. So if we're talking about the context, it says that top investors in India's gaming sector have written to Prime Minister that you have to go for review of this GST Council recent announcement, that is 28% of levy on online games. So here why? Because it is going to erase, or it is going to decrease $2.5 billion of investments, and more than about 50,000 high skilled jobs will be lost. So if you see some details, it says that investments to the tune of at least $4 billion which planned over the next 3 to 4 years in the industry, and almost $3 billion they are coming to Prime Minister signatories, including 11 domestic or India focused funds. So here India focused funds like Shreyas Capital, Kotak Private Entity, and there are about 19 overseas investors including Tiger Global as well. So if we're talking about this increasing of tax slab on this online gaming, it is one of the shock and dismay for the people who are involved in this area. So they says that it substantially and meaningfully erode investor confidence, and even it is backing down the sunrise sector in our India's technological ecosystem. And next one is skill based and real money gaming is India's largest gaming subsector. So it is one of the significant proportion of game developer in the community across the country. So what happens? So here we are going for the banning of this thing, and there are about 400 Indian startups they funded by Mark Global investors in real money gaming. So if we're talking about this industry, which is estimated to contribute about rupees 4,500 crore in GST at a rate of 18%. Now at a rate of 28%, it will lead to increasing of collections, right? So how much? So estimated here is 55% of increase. And however, now we can see there is some change in the methodology also in applying of this GST rates on full scale, that will result in wholesale destructions of sector, including even many MSME and startups which may no longer be able to sustain business operations, and as well as shutdown will be an immediate effect. So this article says that whenever there is increasing of this GST slabs, it will be decreasing the jobs, and as well as it will be having a negative impact on investments, and even it will be affecting MSMEs, startups, etc. So this is about this topic, and now let's try to see today's Hindu newspaper PDF. Before that, I want to make a small announcement. We in Rathod Science, we came with this daily mains answer writing course for UPSC 2024 and as well as 2025. So here in this course, here we are going to cover each and every topic under your syllabus, that is GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4, along with a micro listing of topics. And we are going to have practice on essay and case study on every Sunday. And we are also going to provide you the model answer for the question given, and even detailed evaluation of your answers. And there will be live doubt clearing session on every Sunday at 7 PM, and we are going to have the live classes as well. So this is about this course, and the cost of this course is just 8,200. So try to join this course. And if you want to talk to me, you can call me on this number 8074765513. Okay, so this is also a WhatsApp number and Telegram number, and you can text me also here. So now let us try to see today's Hindu newspaper PDF. So this is our today's Hindu newspaper PDF. Date is July 22 and today is Saturday. So this image I found very much interesting, that Rajasthan came up with Mahatma Gandhi minimum guaranteed income scheme. So it becomes the first and the only state to implement a minimum income guarantee with the passing of bill in the state assembly. So there are about 125 days of employment, okay, in MG Narega, and about 125 days of employment in Indira Gandhi Urban Employment Guarantee Scheme. So actually under this scheme they are also going to get 1000 rupees per month as social security pension as well. And this social security pension will be increased 15% per year. Okay, and if you move forward, the first page you can see PM's absence in both houses spurs opposition protest. So in this ongoing session, our Prime Minister was absent. So because of this, there are a number of issues which raised by this opposition party people. And here you can see more cases of sexual assault of women surface in Manipur. So here this article says that here 3 women, they were disrobed and they are paraded naked, with one of them being raped in the Staubal district of Manipur. And even a 45 years old woman was stripped and set ablaze in Impal. Okay, so this is about this topic, and you have to think about why women are vulnerable in every event, even in the floods, earthquakes. So there will be the women will be vulnerable, and here also in this violence also women are vulnerable here. So in the city page there is nothing much important. Here you can see Rajasthan passes bills on minimum income, higher punishment for paper leaks. So I discussed this topic, and if you move on, here you can see total ban on sharp-edged weapons in Srinagar. So go through this article once. And if you move forward in this editorial page, I discuss this topic regarding Manipur issue. I discuss this topic regarding internet ban and as well as regarding bail. And there is no need of reading this ground. And in this page number 8, I discussed about this topic Assam Rifles. And there is one more topic, that is National Commission for Women. So here you have to see what is this National Commission for Women. And next topic is golden hour is vital in treating stroke. So stroke is nothing but it is a heart disease. So here what happens, so whenever there is a stroke here, so within 1 hour, that is called as golden hour, if you are reaching that person to the hospital, then that will be increases chances of survival rate. So next topic is impose president's rule in Manipur, Congress urges Murmu. So here you have to see what is this president's rule and which article talks about this president's rule and what are the conditions on which president's rule is imposed. So what is the role of governor? So all these things that you have to remember regarding this topic, and this is your homework, and let me know in the comment box. And if you move on to this page number 10, here you can see artificial intelligence not leading to job losses, says IT Ministry in Parliament. So here Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology said that there is a rise of technology, that is artificial intelligence, and this artificial intelligence, it will not leading to any job loss. So this is the thing which mainly said. And next topic is the portal launched on report violation. The portal launched to report violation of ban on e-cigarettes. I discussed this topic. And if you move on to world page, there is nothing much important. And in the business page, you can see online gaming investors, they flag risk to jobs, investments in SOS to PM on GST. So this article I discussed, and these are some important articles that appear now today's Hindu newspaper. So by this I'm concluding, and if you really like this video, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to Rathod's IS Academy, and try to share this video with your friends, Telegram groups and as well as WhatsApp groups. So by this I'm concluding. Thank you so much, and we are going to meet in the next session. Until then, stay tuned.